Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's Saturday and it's time for some fun. Hey, welcome to WikiTree. I want to point out there's a comment already this morning that I really like.
Really?
And it was, where is it? Where is it? I got to find it. Where is it? I missed it. It was Happy Time Zone. I got to find it.
Happy Time Zone.
Who's
Happy
that?
Time Zone instead of good morning.
Is that Victor?
Yes.
Yes. Victor. There he is.
Is it Victor? There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you. Good time zone, everybody. I like that because
That is so cool.
we are a multi-time zonial group. There you go.
That's right.
Happy Saturday. Oh gosh, I'm here. We're gonna switch things up a little bit this morning. Nothing weird. Just gonna rearrange some stuff because Betsy Co has to take off this morning. What are you doing this morning, Betsy?
I just have an earlier than usual flute lesson this morning.
Flout. You're gonna go flout about.
Yes, well, she's coming here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yep.
We would watch the flute lesson.
Yeah, that's right.
We have nothing better to do on a Saturday. What kind of week have you guys had?
Good one.
I've been busy. Greg said to me yesterday in a meeting we were having, see you in the morning. I'm like, tomorrow? I'm thinking, isn't tomorrow Monday again?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Great week. We have a great question of the week this week. So let me get myself set up here to present. What's your mug?
Wiki Games.
Wiki Games.
My team.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, I love the color.
More swag that got delivered to the right address.
How many mugs do you have total, Betsy?
No, let's not go there.
Okay,
I should count.
Did you get some from your mom's place when you took care of her stuff?
Just a few. I had sent her a WikiTree mug, so now I have two because I had one and she had one. I think maybe just a few from her collection.
Nice. And were there any mugs of your mom's that were like special that you have like behind a glass somewhere?
No. I mean, I have a tea set that belonged to my grandmother. That's
fun.
Yeah, that's very
fun. So the question of the week is a great question of the week, and it is question of the week is researching your genealogy. Has it changed your view of yourself? Now, this has a lot to do with a lot of the questions that we had last week. So I don't know. They kind of run together. Has your genealogy research for either one of you, has it changed your view of yourself?
For
you
me,
know what I'm going to ask. You should.
Yeah, I would say it hasn't. It's opened up new visions. Finding my birth family and whatnot. And the interesting thing, the reason I did the test in the first place was to see if I was the mix, the English, Irish, Scottish, French mix that my adoptive family was. And I was. It's just the ratios were slightly different.
Nice.
So it didn't change. It kind of confirmed that I was that mix. Just
so your answer has to do with origins as well. Yeah. And what about you, Betsy?
Well, I feel like for me, it's just doing genealogy has anchored my sense of self because I feel myself positioned within this network of ancestors. And as I learn more about them, it sort of reminds me of who I, the potentials within myself. It's an interesting question in that, some people are really drawn to genealogy and family history, and other people are, oh, that's nice,
But Chris Perriello answers the question in, I told AON my wardrobe is now mostly Boston teams and WikiTree shirts. So it's WikiTree, really influenced Chris Perriello.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's our question of the week. I've got a bunch of them lined up. Here's the first one. In the very first kind of paragraph in this one, I used to look in the mirror to shave. Now I look in the mirror to study my facial features compared to the pictures that I've collected of my cousins and all their branches of the Draper family from Virginia. Our faces pretty much match up. And that is kind of encapsulates the whole answer to the question of the week this week, is that people see themselves in their ancestors' lives, and they so there's lots of great answers. I'm going to just go through some here quickly, because Betsy Co, do you have lots of photos to show us this week?
I have 5 photos to share and four ancestors and a teeny tiny tip.
All right, a teeny tip.
A teeny
tip of the teeny.
It's a 2-parter.
One of the answers that we had was from Sarah Jenkins. Is it helped me forgive myself a little more easily because I could see where certain traits came from, and forgiving yourself is a requirement of my faith. So being able to do it more easily is a good thing. I liked that answer. Yeah. I like that answer because I think that in our family dynamic, I see my grandmother in some of us, or my mother in some of us, or my dad in some of us, and I'm like, oh, that's why that's happening, or oh yeah. So make sure we get over there and upvote some of these great answers. Let's see, and one of them, a lot of it is like what Greg was talking about, the origin stuff, and this one from Lorraine Odell was that she had that great story that a lot of people have, especially if you're from the Appalachians. Did I just say biscuit? They have this great story of having this Cherokee and member of their family. We have one of those in our line, and there's no proof of it, but that is the story. There's absolutely the story that they were hiding so that they wouldn't be deported. So they didn't report themselves in the Dawes rolls and all this stuff. So this one is Lorraine Odell said that she had heard the story of being indigenous her whole life, that there was some woman who came into the family and was the progenitor of all of their native identity. And boop, nope. So that is one of the answers that we were getting. And this is a funny one. Judith Bauman. Yes, I found out that I have a lot of ancestors in Friesland, the province I did not like at all. Oh dear. Okay, all right, here. This is Friesland. Looks pretty nice to me.
Oh,
yeah.
Part of the Netherlands. Yeah,
they got cute little penguins. It's very north. You see the little
penguins
map over
in
there?
Netherlands?
Yeah, it's yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's
way
wild.
up there. Very flat, very north. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like a nice place to me. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so sorry about that, but
yeah,
it looks like a good place to live. So that is very north. That's very north. Penguins, yes. And the biggest impact was finding out about my enslaver ancestors. It was a gut punch. Because of this information, I'm going to Alabama next week for the Civil Rights Trail and to see the land where my family held enslaved peoples. And that was posted 2 days ago. Wow. So I don't know if she's going this weekend and she's watching, or he's watching. Is Robin Williams a lady or a man? Let's check. Oh, lady. How about that? So I hope if you're there, I hope you're having a good trip. And yeah, it is hard. It is hard. But I mean, I grew up in the South, so I knew my whole life that, that was a part of our history and something that we identify with, but don't carry. You understand that? Like, we know that happened, but it's not. Yeah. I love everybody.
Yeah.
Let's see. Deepest view of myself and my place in the world. It deepened my place in the world. I like that comment. It's like we're all one family. It's not like, like I have bits in this and bits of that. Yeah. I like this one, of course. We got to mention Canada. Yes, I used to think that I didn't have any deep roots in the United States or Canada, and that all of my ancestors were recent immigrants, but nope. Lots of deep roots in the Americas. Moving on, realizing things about our family that were never disclosed. Finding revelations that may affect your psyche about how your family. Like if I woke up tomorrow and found out that my brother was a mass murderer, that would really affect me. He's not. but it would be an emotional thing. But they're just talking about, makes me think that we're doing this all wrong as we follow the father's line. Now, obviously, Richard has some issues with what happened on his father's side of the family. It makes me wonder why we always follow the father's line. We should really follow the mother's line, as she's the only certainty in our history. She had to be there at birth. Technically, that is such a true statement.
That is,
That's just so true.
It makes sense, yeah. If we just use the mother's line, you know that's
there's no doubt, unless there was some switch up at the hospital.
Oh, the switch at birth. There is that.
It does happen, but
not a lot, hopefully.
Yeah.
But my siblings always told me I was adopted. I loved Peter Roberts. I didn't realize who wrote this until I got
Peter Roberts.
Peter Roberts. Should the research records on WikiTree hold true, my ancestry tapestry extends far beyond the discoveries that he has. It encompasses European nobility, intriguing associations with royal mistresses, valiant crusaders, revered Knights Templars, entries within the Doomsday Book, descent from Picts, Romans, Saxons, venerated saints, tragic plague victims, intrepid pioneers of Jamestown, resilient indentured servants, and even a connection to an illustrious North Carolina Tar Heel. I love that answer. That's great. That paragraph right there is just perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. That was eloquent.
Very
eloquent. Let's see. My DNA test, I found so many more relatives. I was surprised to learn that I have a UK ancestry with a small bit of Finnish. With my last name being Messenger, I thought for sure there would be some French background as well. I found so many pioneers in my family that immigrated to Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the US. I shall continue to enter, hoping that some long-lost relatives show up in Finland. That's nice. Trying to make the narrative fit, or the facts fit the narrative.
Yeah.
Let's see. How researching my genealogy has made me view myself these days. A definite yes, it has affected it. A surprise to find out how my feelings about myself suddenly changed, and changed in a positive way. I wish my dad was still living, as I know he too would have felt good about himself knowing who his family was. I must say I'm proud to be Métis, and if you don't know what Métis is, it's a conglomeration of different ethnicities with deep indigenous roots in the Canadian area of the world. But I've always known we were indigenous from Canada, along with being Scottish. But now I found out I'm Norwegian. Surprise, surprise, surprise. German. So along the same lines of those origins comments that you made originally. And greetings all. Not sure if it's nature, nurture, or tradition, or the genes, but I come from a long line of those who served their country, males and females. My ancestors led the way for descendants to follow, having served in the Air Force myself. So Kimberly Morgan has a great answer that she got a sense of, I need to serve. And I don't know if that was like she said, nurture or nature, was that the cause? Was it because she learned about her family's genealogy and that she had all of these forebears? Was that the reason you served? That was the question that popped up in my mind for that. So that is our question of the week. And there was already a best answer chosen. There were so many best answers today. I don't know if I'd have been able to do it. So thank you. The best answer chosen was from Anita Alexander. Yes, being African American, the research shows me the strength and resiliency of my ancestors, and that was picked by Mary Culbertson. Interesting, best answer, and that was the question of the week. I'm going to flip flop over to Betsy Coe.
Awesome, thank you, Mags. Well, we haven't had photos of the week for maybe 2 weeks now, so I'm going to kick off with those because I know that we're We love photos.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 5 to look at. The theme is portraits. And Pat Miller shared this photo. It's really, he's got such a haunting look on his face.
Yeah.
Pat Miller's father. And she writes I won't read the whole thing, but it's a portrait of her father, a self-portrait taken in 1953 using a tripod. His name was John Russell Miller. And she has 2 memories of him, Happy with Life Man and Gloomy Gus.
Mm-hmm.
And she writes about different times in his life when she was feeling that one or the other persona was predominating. But she said, I like this portrait because it shows another side of my photo, not the belly laughs, not the twinkling eyes, not the amusing man who the first thing he did coming home from a hospital operation was play 10 seconds of happy chords on the piano. No, this was Gloomy Gus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Haunting. That's an excellent word for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
And Vicky Blanco, is Vicky in the chat? I didn't see. Vicky Blanco shared this one, and it is her ancestor Teresa, who 6 generations apart, but she says we look almost the same at that age. It's on a portable stereoscope. I don't know anything about that, but it allows you to see a 3D image.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she writes, Teresa had a happy and glamorous life, but the most terrible death. And so I had,
you had to
click. So I come over here where Vicky had commented, Teresa Blanco Gana, my 3rd great grandaunt, lived a fairy tale. She was the daughter of Chile's first president and illustrious General Blanco. She married a Chilean millionaire, owner of gold and silver mines, during a trip to France. Their godparents at marriage were the Emperor Napoleon III and his wife, Empress Eugenie. I'm not sure how to say that. Back at Chile at 30 years old, Teresa was the mother of 7 little children, and she enjoyed visiting the mine sites. One day, her dress got tangled in a machine used to break rocks. They couldn't save her, and she was crushed to death. 13 years later, her husband died in a shipwreck. So,
wow.
No.
Oh, that's just.
Wow.
But beautiful photo.
Oh.
So thank you for sharing that, Vicky. I know Vicky was wondering, when do I get to share my photos? She said she was very excited about sharing.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that whoever is showing us this is wearing gloves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Taking care of that's a fun. That's crazy cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So what is it? You look through your eyes?
Oh, yeah, I think you hold it up level with your eyes, and you look through the 2 eye holes, and it's the same sort of idea as the Viewmaster.
Yes. Okay.
Right? It's
which is what Victor Rose just said, Victor.
Oh, it's an old style Viewmaster. Oh, there you go, Vic. Yeah.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Seen that. I learned something new. Thanks, Vicky. Alexis Nelson. This beautiful lady is her great grandmother, Clara McIntyre, probably about 1875, when she would have been 20 and beginning her teaching career in Pike County, Illinois. And here's what's
the choker she's wearing, and then a big brooch.
Yes.
That's crazy cool. And the earrings.
She was stylish.
Wow.
But get this, look what she says. This is a very tiny tintype, only about the size of a small postage stamp.
Wow.
Really?
I mean, look at the detail.
With that resolution?
I know.
That's amazing.
I don't know much about tintypes, but
no.
I have some tintypes, and they don't look that good.
Wow.
So
maybe they had bigger stamps where she came from.
bank selection.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This is, let's see, Roger Stong said that it's his third great grandfather, Vincent Brzezinski. And he was a Knight of Malta, and you can see the Order's cross around his neck.
It's the Maltese cross, yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
And he's got a place where he can stick his hand, because Napoleon started that, putting your hand in your shirt. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Open. That's interesting.
Huh. I mean, this era, you would have to be, of a social standing where you would have your portrait done, as opposed to a photograph. So how lucky
Malta
to have that. Yeah.
Is there a Napoleon connection with Malta?
I'm just looking.
Yeah.
It wasn't Malta that he was banished to, was it? It was a different island, Corsica, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Corsica.
They were contemporaries. They lived at the same time for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I first looked at it, I thought that looked Napoleon-esque.
Yeah.
The portrait.
Well, he's probably trying to channel his inner Napoleon.
Yeah, his inner Napoleon.
The peace with Britain proved to be uneasy and controversial. Britain did not evacuate Malta as promised and protested against Bonaparte's annexation of Piedmont and his act of mediation, which established a new Swiss confederation. Neither of these territories were covered by the Amiens, but the inflamed tensions. So yeah, there is a connection with Malta.
Interesting.
And I wonder, did he say the date of the portrait? He gives his ancestors' life dates, but yeah, no.
He would have been a contemporary. He would have lived contemporaneously with Napoleon.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Go okay.
Knight of Malta. Very cool.
And Eric Varva gave us our last one. These are 3 of his great grandmothers. Doesn't have a portrait of the 4th.
I love his opening line there.
To avoid, yes, exactly. No favorites.
Yeah.
I love seeing them side by side. Mags, it reminds me of your matrilineal.
Yeah. Your the other grandmother is looking down, not happy.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to work on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have one from Chicago, one from Sweden, and one from New York. All pretty much within the same. This first one's a little later, but sort of close in time.
I'm looking like an Irish surname, Swedish, Norwegian, and Haratzen. What is that surname?
I don't know.
Let me think.
Talking about origins.
Eric's not in the chat. He sometimes is. Yeah. Eric, get back.
Back to the last picture. The Knights of Malta is a Catholic order. Thank you.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah. I thought they were sort of like the Knights of Columbus.
So it's like a fraternal organization. Okay.
Which could have been military as well.
Hang on his choir robe.
Yeah, that's right.
You want one of these, Greg?
Yeah, no, I haven't joined the Knights of Columbus yet, though they keep asking.
So plenty more days left in the month for all of you to submit your portraits, your favorite portraits. Actually, I have a portrait. I'll have to put that up of one of my greats. So, and then we have some ancestors to celebrate.
Guess who's here?
Who's here?
Eric's here.
Great. Eric, what kind of name is hers?
Czechoslovakian.
Bohemian.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Yay.
Wow, that's quite a mix. Neat.
Eric must have been watching and not chatting until the
That's
last.
right. Yeah. I feel his pain, though. I have in my fan chart. I think when I showed it last week, I had all those pictures. But I've got all the pictures up to its 2nd or 3rd great grandparents, and I've got one missing, and it's killing me.
Doesn't it bug you? That's that hole right there.
The completionist really wants that. And anyways.
You can draw a sketch.
I've emailed all the relatives I can find who have email addresses. Do you have a picture of this?
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Do you know I got a text this morning from a cousin in Taiwan, and he sent me a photo of myself at 6 years old as Good Witch Glinda in the school play. I have no memory of this photo. Look what I found.
Show us.
Oh, I will. Can I? I don't know if I can. I'm not on whole screen. I'll show you.
Hold it up in front of your camera.
It's oh, I see. You're clever. Okay. All right, here we are. So I have to go.
Hold it closer and
oh,
tilt it up. No, tilt it the other way.
I'm gonna look at what I'm doing here.
Tilt it. There you go.
Do you see me in the orange dress?
Megs, click the button so that it's just her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So I'm in the yellow dress.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that is so adorable.
I know.
Look at you.
Everybody else has a dancing partner, but you. What are you doing you're making them dance?
No, I think. Well, I was the good witch. So.
All right.
That's fun. Thanks, Betsy.
That's very cool.
Hey, technology will not defeat us.
No, we can do it.
We can do it.
That was good. Okay, so Susan Ellen Smith. We're going to start off with a marriage for September. Says not too many September anniversaries except a marriage of her great grand uncle and aunt. So we have Tuttle Orrin Dayton, and they were in. I noticed that they were both born in Port Jefferson, Long Island, so kind of near my stomping grounds. And his wife, Celeste May Smith Dayton. Not too many more details, but thank you, Susan.
What did they call Tuttle Orrin? Tut or what?
Well, let's.
Hey, Tuttle, how are you?
Look at this. So he was Tuttle Orrin Dayton, and so was his father. And I have to wonder if maybe it was a mother's maiden name.
Tuttle. Yeah, Tuttle sounds like a last name.
What an unusual name.
No?
So does Orrin too, though.
Yeah.
But then look, going back a generation, we have another Tuttle.
We're just seeing Celeste.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
we're on Celeste right now.
Sorry. Yeah, this is back 2 generations. We have this was.
So he was Tuttle. They called him Tuttle. So we know what the father's name, what his nickname was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had a father and son with identical names, and then this is the grandfather, and then
Tuttle.
Yeah, no sign of where the name comes from. That's an
interesting.
If you could do click on the ancestors button and see if it shows up.
Oh, good idea.
No, Nathaniel.
Well, there's a grandfather that's Tuttle.
Look.
Rebecca Tuttle.
There it is.
Rebecca Tuttle.
Yes.
After the 1600s.
But it skips a generation.
Yeah. That's fun.
And okay, cool. That's fair. And so Tuttle Dayton took these 2 surnames. I love that.
Fun.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Wow, neat.
Yeah. Okay. And then was that me? No. I don't think so. I'm on Do Not Disturb. Okay. And then we had
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, good. His wife Celeste. And then going on to Sally Kimball. Sally Kimball had a first cousin once removed, whose birthday is on September 13th. Nice photo here. Mildred Jane went by Midge, Soam, and married name Tasca. And Sally writes, there's a nice shot of the photo. I'll read what Sally wrote. After she graduated from high school, she went to Cleveland, Ohio, and enrolled in nurses training. An unresolved question: did she go there following a boyfriend, her future husband? The young man had lived in the same neighborhood before his family moved to Ohio, probably for work. She and her family were from Indiana, and this young man is the only Ohio connection I found for her. Seems likely.
Mm-hmm.
Love those questions.
Yeah.
What more do we want to learn from the questions we've found in our question of the week?
There's always more.
Always more.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder where Sally found this. The Elkhart High School.
That's nice.
Yeah. Looks like it's a postcard, maybe?
Yeah, and a nice collage.
Yes.
Look at the cute little house.
Yeah.
Look at the house. Yeah.
And so let's see, was that where she lived? This 1409 Aspinwald. Okay. Nice. All right. And then Linda Bodie. I'm going to go over here. I was so happy that I was able to locate the profile that goes with this amazing story.
Okay.
So, going to there. Where am I? Okay. So September 3rd, this was my history lesson for the day. September 13 to 14, 1781, my ancestor, Nancy Ann Tyler, married to Peter A. Sturgis, lived near Squire Boone on Tick Creek at Boone Station. This is Kentucky. Families along Tick and Beargrass Creek were alerted that Simon Girty was leading about 300 Delaware and Shawnee Indians in an attack. Families started heading in a strung-out line toward the fortified Lynn Station, about 21 miles away. They were attacked along the track by the Indians, and people cut loose the packs from their animals and ran for their lives. The Indians stopped to plunder the packs. In that way, most lives were saved.
Wow.
Unfortunately, yeah, clever. Unfortunately, 10 people were killed and their bodies mangled. The following day, Colonel Floyd, along with two of my ancestors, great uncles Bland Ballard and Robert Tyler, and Captain Peter A. Sturgis. Peter A. Sturgis? There's an apostrophe there. I'm not sure. They rode out after the Indians. 16 of those men were killed, including Peter A. Sturgis, leaving my sixth great-grandmother widowed. This is known as the Long Run Massacre. She shortly after that was captured by Indians and held at Fort Detroit for a year and a half until ransomed by Captain James Denny, who as sheriff was authorized by the state. He subsequently married her, and they are Linda's sixth great-grandparents.
That's an interesting story.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then finally, Alicia Taylor. And so what was the connection? Oh, the connection was that historical event happened in September. Then our last ancestor to celebrate is Billy Harding, Alicia Taylor's grandfather. And this is just a beautiful profile created with love and care. And his marriage was in September 1952.
Nice.
And I won't read the whole thing, but the bio is just beautiful. We've got photos here. Here he is on I think on the right backhand, left, taller boy, very.
There's the
I
wedding.
like the wedding photo.
He's so young. They're both so young.
I know. Look at this. I mean,
wow.
He's a baby.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the background image on the profile?
I don't know.
It looks like linen with some stains on it. So I'm wondering if there's a story there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Look at the cute little picture.
Yeah, the two
I know. So that's him and a brother.
Oh, wow. It's wonderful that you have all those pictures.
I know. And I'll just read the one paragraph that I thought really talked about who he was. Billy, affectionately known as Bill, embodied a captivating blend of intellect and versatility. An artistic flair was evident in his talents, ranging from his skillful brushstrokes as a capable artist to the intricate craft of constructing ships ensconced within bottles. His curiosity was a driving force, drawing him into the world of photography and fascination with cutting-edge gadgets.
Oh, fun.
He was an expert carpenter, built furniture, and notably a table and chair crafted from reclaimed essence of whiskey barrels.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I bet his den smelled good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun.
Love to travel. So, yeah, very, very, very interesting and beautiful profile. Thanks, Alicia.
That's great.
Okay, and keep them coming. I've got sort of we have 2 more Saturdays before we have the thon. So I've got, if you posted to the G2G post and I haven't celebrated your ancestor yet, I've got you slated out for.
Every time somebody says the thon, I think thong.
You add an extra G, don't you?
I do.
No. Thon.
Oh no.
Okay. And then my tip of the week, which is a 2-parter with homework.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So as some of you may have seen, I am doing the bibs.
Oh, wow. That's a huge job, Betsy. That's a huge job.
Be patient. I've just called for reinforcements because
I got my bib. Did I get my bib?
I don't remember doing yours, Mags.
Mine needs to have 8s in it because 8's my favorite number, and somebody's already gotten 8. So
you could be 8.
I don't know if I can honor that request.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I'm up to 180. So
you can reserve 188.
So wait, I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Okay, sure.
So back in the year, year I got number 8.
008.
Nice.
Probably from the first source-a-thon we did. So I was 8. So that is staying on. I am 8. Sorry.
Max, why is 8 your lucky number?
That's my birthday, and I don't know. It's a nice, beautiful looking infinity. It's there's so many reasons.
Good
8
choice.
makes me feel good.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, so I wanted to talk about today about what you do with downloading it and sharing to social media, so that people can know what you're up to and what WikiTree is up to. So here on this page, where am I? Okay, so this image. Now here again, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm right clicking. And then I get a pull down menu and then save image as. And then that's going to save it to your computer. And I just saved it to my desktop. And then you can upload it to, your favorite social media of choice and just say, I think what I'll say is I'm racing to add sources on WikiTree. I'm wearing this bib, and it's going to be 72 hours of fun. So part 2 is that I'm going to show you next week how you can add that to your profile with a sticker. And it will look something like this. So are we seeing Az's page? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep. So it'll look something like this.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where it gives your team name. And it gives your bib. The reason I couldn't do that today is I couldn't, and Azra and I were like madly Discord chatting before. I don't think there's an instruction that I can give that will work for everybody. so it depends on how your team is handling things. So some teams upload the bibs to the team page. Others do not. So that will affect things. And also, not by next Saturday, my goal is you all will all have your bibs.
Do you know who has bib number 8?
Who?
I love it. Alexis Nelson.
Oh, excellent.
Great.
So if it couldn't be you, you're happy about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
your
This is an excellent idea that Az has done. I should do that because then I go back and forth from Team Italy to Team Canada, and I'm not quite sure. Lisa asked in Discord this week, you know, is Greg joining us this time, or is he on the other team? That way I could keep track easier.
Yeah. So your homework is to find and this might be especially good for people who are newer to the Thons, find your team page, free space page. And I notice a lot of captains have already been responding to the G2G post saying, welcome, make sure you check out our page. And then you can see what your team is doing in terms of, so Welsh Dragons is just listing the numbers. They haven't uploaded the image. So, but like Western Red Cedars, they have uploaded images. So just sort of see what's going on your team free space page.
Yeah, you notice that I jumped from the food people with cornbread to the food people with the biscuits. And look, aren't I?
Is there a biscuits team?
Isn't that a cute little picture?
That is.
I have always loved that.
That is great.
That's a source-a-thon picture from I think the first one or second one. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Thanks
Betsy,
for letting.
Have fun with your flautist.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to stay for 10 more minutes.
Okay. Cool.
I got to hear Greg's profiles.
I should get to a couple of them by then.
If you wait for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, that's great. So the profiles of the week, we'll see how many, how many I get through, I'll get through them all, but how long it'll take, we'll see. Hopefully less than 99 minutes, but the theme number this week is 99 because we lost Bob Barker, sadly, who passed away.
One thing I noticed about this week is that all three of us have different people we're connected to. Usually we gang up on one of the other hosts.
Yes.
You know? But this week we're all different.
All different.
Betsy, since you're leaving, your closest is Mr. Barker himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an honor.
All right, there you go.
And I think my closest is Betty White.
I'm jealous.
I know.
She is cool.
My closest is John Wooden, who was a basketball coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted Betsy White.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, well. So, yes, honor of the recent, Bob Barker just passed away recently at age 99. So we've, it hasn't been me. I think, I'm guessing it's AON, went through and found a whole pile of other notable WikiTreeers.
That is the funniest comment.
Oh, that is great. Closest to Bob without going over.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
That is so good. Oh, yes. So let us talk about Robert William Barker from 1923 to 2023, who is my cousin, sixth cousin, 4 times removed. So he's 16 degrees. I think Betty is only 15 degrees. So I'm pretty close to Bob. Anyways, definitely a notable. Born on the 12th of December, 1923 in Darrington, Snohomish, Washington, and passed away 26th of August, just this year, in Los Angeles, California. Of course, most famous as being a television game show host, The Price is Right, which I remember watching lots. Also, Truth or Consequences, I remember seeing that too. And then there was a third one too. Whatever that he had for a long running time, but he was born in December in Darrington, Washington, but he spent most of his youth in the Rosebud Indian Reservation in South Dakota. And the Indian Census rolls lists him as an official member of the Sioux tribe. and the sticker declares that he was Lakota. His mother, Matilda Tilly Valandra, was a school teacher, and his father, Byron John Barker, was the foreman on the electrical high line through the state of Washington. But sadly, when he was in Washington, his father fell from a tower and sustained an injury which resulted in his death in 1929. That's very sad. He also has a half-brother from his mother's remarriage. Moved to Springfield, Missouri, graduated from Central High School there. Time of the draft registration, he was living in Springfield. He's described as 6'1", weighed 160 pounds, and had blue eyes. I love how the draft registrations give all the details, so especially if you've never met these ancestors, to have that detail of what they physically look like, I think that's really cool. And then here's his wedding announcement. Of the surprise ceremony was performed. That's kind of cool to put in the announcement. Oh, the surprise ceremony was performed in St. Louis. Attending the attractive young couple were Ensign and Mrs. Howard Hessick, bride and groom of 1 week. Ensign Hessick was a fellow Naval Air Corps student of Ensign Barker. Then it goes on, attended Drury College, worked part-time in radio, and then moved to California to pursue a career in broadcasting, given his own show. That's pretty early on, the Bob Barker Show, which ran for 6 years, and then Truth or Consequences. Also, of course, famous for hosting the Miss Universe and Miss USA pageants, and then began hosting in The Price is Right in 1972. And he is, at the time of his death, I believe he was the longest consecutive game show host. And after his wife passed away, he became an advocate for animal rights and activism. So neat pictures here. His high school basketball team photo. Now, I don't know which one. Does it say which one is him? Oops, yeah. Well, that's a little too zoomed in.
Oh, that's him on the far left there, the bottom row, far left.
Right there?
Yep. You blew it up. You can recognize him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Oh man, this is part of the Truth or Consequences. Oh man, the pie, the dynamite. Wow, crazy guy. Anyways, very neat. Next one is a notable Canadian, the Right Honorable Ellen Lukes Fairclough, formerly Cook, born as Cook. Now, I sent a message to the profile manager, Joachim Hahn. I didn't get because I wanted to know the correct pronunciation of her last name. Because if you look at that last name, Clough, does it rhyme with? Does it rhyme with doe? Does it rhyme with bow? Does it rhyme with though? Does it rhyme with through? Does it rhyme with trough? So. Right. I believe it's Fairclough.
That's would have been my guess. Yeah.
Okay. There was a YouTube video that talked about her, and I'm pretty sure he pronounced it as Fairclough. But there were other YouTube videos of people with the same last name where they pronounced it as Fairclough. They were British. It was a British scientist, I think. And then there was a website that said it was Fairclough. So I apologized.
So we have one comment that says it's Fairclough.
In the UK. And it was the UK where I heard the Fairclough pronunciation. But it was the 101 top Canadians.
You would think that it's since she's from Hamilton, that it would be Clough.
You'd think Clough, eh?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Go look and see where her parents are from.
Well, no, she is from she's from from her parents.
Her parents. All right. Her father was
British.
Norfolk.
Wyndham, Ontario. Delhi, and mother from Scotland.
Scotland. But is that the Fairclough name? No.
No, the Fairclough name. Oh, the Fairclough is the husband's name.
Oh, see, we're barking up the wrong tree.
Wife.
So easy to do.
Yeah.
All right, reverse. Back it up.
There we go. Fairclough, Canada West, England.
So
yeah,
there we go. Fairclough.
Well, originally, but over here, I mean, they could have changed the pronunciation too. Anyways,
that
we'll go with
happen a lot because we're so English here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll go with Fairclough, but if she did use Fairclough, I
you
apologize.
Apologizing to
to whoever would be offended by that. I like to call people I like to pronounce their names properly. So
yes.
Well, you'll see how I butcher the Irish one coming up. I'll try not to.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Anyways, she's what's interesting. Well, there's a number of things she's done. She was the first in a lot of things in her life. She was the owner. Overall, she was the owner of an accounting firm. She was the first woman cabinet minister in Canada, serving as Secretary of State in the 1957 Diefenbaker government. And she was elected to Parliament 5 times. Here's a picture with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, who we'll also talk about later.
Wow.
With the Privy Council. So this is the smaller council, sort of basically the executive council of the government at the time, right? With with the prime minister and the ministers. And so she's there. So besides the Queen, she's the only other woman in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Third of 5 children. Even though we never went, so her recollection of being young, even though we never went hungry, we were not an affluent family. Mm-hmm. Hamilton, which is just sort of around the lake from Toronto, is a very industrial town. Mm-hmm. And so it has, its economy goes up and down based on, the economy a lot. So mm-hmm. there's a lot of ups and downs to that. She met at 16. She met her future husband, and 10 years later, they eloped to Buffalo, New York, to get married.
Across border,
cross-border marriage, wedding shopping. I wonder if they had an announcement that said, "In a surprise ceremony."
was Buffalo some sort of getting a green? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's right. Very interesting. She worked in the public and accounting business, and was a member of the International Advisory Council. She ran for the Progressive Conservatives and was elected to the House of Commons. And she remained undefeated until 1963. She became part of the government. She was appointed Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, as well as Secretary of State. Here's a quote: "Why in these days of cooperation are there no more women in the legislature? Are women so insignificant they have no desire to be heard? If women were in the legislature, a lot of things that are dirty would be cleaned up, and they wouldn't stand for them." She was appointed Postmaster General, again a first. She became the Secretary of the Hamilton Trust and Savings Corporation. She was on the board of directors. So many things in her first. She was named Advertising and Salesperson of the Year in 1969. And the addition of the title Right Honorable, so that's her she was given that title. In Canada, that it's unusual that any civilian would have that. It's usually reserved only for prime ministers and governors general, and if you're the justice of a Supreme Court of Canada, so the very top. But
Speaker of the House too, right?
Speaker of the House, yes, probably. Yeah. But in 1992, Queen Elizabeth II herself bestowed that title on Ellen Fairclough, almost 30 years after she left Parliament, recognizing her life of many achievements, the most notable being that she was the first woman to enter the federal cabinet. Mm-hmm. And I like this, I'll end with her quote here: "Although I never started out to be the first of anything, it turned out that I was the first woman in many areas of public life. There are not many others to follow, so I just followed my own instincts. These served me pretty well over the years, as I did my willingness to work hard for a living. And when all is said and done, it's been a pretty satisfying life."
That's a great quote.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
I think if we can all say that at the end, then we've done well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there we go. Anyways,
I'm going to say, are you going on to the next? Oh,
yeah, I am.
well,
Okay.
I should say goodbye.
Okay, then.
Happy weekend. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, Betsy.
Bye.
See ya. Next, we have Miss Hungary, Zsa Gabor, born Sari Gabor. Hungarian-American actress and socialite, born February 6, 1917 in Budapest, Hungary. Middle of 3 daughters, Eva, the youngest, and Magda, the older sister. Began her career in Vienna, crowned Miss Hungary in 1936. Oh, but she lost her crown due to an issue with her application. Don't know. Emigrated to the States in 1941 in the midst of the World War II to join her sister Eva, and became a sought-after actress with her European flair and style.
Yes.
With a personality that exuded charm and grace. And she started in television. That landed her first a film part, Lovely to Look At in 1952, then We're Not Married, and Moulin Rouge in 1952.
Her most famous one?
Yes. Is?
Green Acres.
Yes. Was that Zsa or was that Ava?
I don't know. Now, no, I gotta go look.
Because it doesn't say Green Acres here, and I think it was Ava.
Oh, that might have been Ava.
Yeah. Okay, you check that out. But the thing she's really she's really popular or famous for her marriages.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many, or had you already looked?
No.
Okay. Guess how many she's had.
22.
Okay, not that many. Okay. Okay, 9.
9.
You're not giving me a number. Sorry, you're not doing the higher low. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm not falling for your math.
You're not falling for it. 9 marriages. But to her credit, most of them last more than a year or two. It's like 4 years to the first one. Conrad Hilton, the Conrad Hilton, she was married to him for 5 years. George Henry Sanders for another 5 years. 4 years to Herbert Loeb Huttner. Joshua Stanley Cosden for a year. Now that was a short one. This John Ryan is a short one. Then we have one who must still be alive, Felipe de Alba, and then her final husband took care of her at the end. She had a tragic car accident in 2002. She was left partially paralyzed, and the leg had to be amputated after infection in 2013. So that's very sad.
Ava Gabor was in Green Acres.
It was Ava. I thought it was. Sorry. So she's 1 degree from Green Acres. But her her last husband took care of her. And eventually died of heart failure. Sadly, she died the same day that her adopted son died in a motorcycle accident. That's very tragic.
Isn't it?
That is. I did not remember or know that. I don't think I ever knew that. But she was interred next to her sister Ava in Los Angeles. Then we have Lillian Diana Gesh, or Diana Gesh.
No, she's not my closest. She's my next to the closest.
Next to the closest?
8 cousins. Yeah. Oh, you're 7th cousins. That's
I'm
cool.
7th cousin 3 times.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm related to a lot of these people this time around, which is neat.
The 99.
Yeah, the 99, yeah. Lillian Diana Gesh from 1893 to 1993 was an American motion picture icon, director, actress, and screenwriter whose career spanned 75 years. She was said to have been called the first lady of American cinema, credited with pioneering film performance techniques, delivering finely etched, nuanced turns, carrying a stunning emotional impact. She was the first child of actress Mary Robinson McConnell and James Lee Gish. Unfortunately, her father was an alcoholic and left the family. So her mother took up acting to support them all. Then when the father was ill, they returned to Oklahoma to be near him, I guess. She rose to stardom in 1912 to 1926. So initially she was in the silent movies. So The Birth of a Nation, that's a very famous silent movie. Intolerance, Broken Blossoms, Way Down East, Orphans of the Storm in 21. She was recognized for her expressive talents and developed her into a suffering yet strong heroine. She became a major star after appearing in lavish productions, frequently of literary works, such as The Way Down East. She went on to work with MGM Studio, and then there's a whole list of awards and works that she was in. So nicely done. I like the photos they've added to this. Like they're of that time, eh? All the photos of that have sort of a neat look to them, which is.
And that photo that you were on has a signature on it too.
Like this one here, yes. Best wishes, love. Is it Esther, Francis, Lillian Gish? Best wishes to Esther and Francis, Lillian Gish. Nice.
My grandmother was a huge fan of hers.
Yeah. Neat. Very cool. Then we have William Franklin Graham Jr., KBE. Billy Graham. Yeah. 22nd cousin. The Reverend Billy Graham. Born 7th November 1918 in Charlotte, North Carolina. And died in North Carolina as well.
Asheville.
Montreat. Is that how you? Montreat. Okay. Yeah. Montreat, North Carolina, in February. American evangelical Christian evangelist, ordained as a Southern Baptist minister, rose to celebrity status in 1949. I didn't realize it was that early. Wow. Reaching a core constituency of middle-class, moderately conservative Protestants. He held large indoor and outdoor rallies. Sermons were broadcast on radio and television. Some still
down south, we call those tent meetings.
Tent meetings. Oh, wow. So, you know the movie Brother, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah.
Was it similar to what one of those type of things?
Oh yeah. Sometimes
so they were called those actually happen. That's not just
tent meetings and tent meetings. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He married his classmate from Wheaton, Ruth Bell, whose parents were Presbyterian ministers in China, and they were married for almost 64 years. That's very impressive. Also impressive, he was spiritual advisor to several American presidents, particularly close to Dwight D. Eisenhower, Lyndon Johnson, and Richard Nixon. And I did not realize that he was associated with Martin Luther King Jr. He insisted on integration at his revivals, which would have been unusual back then, I'm guessing. And he preached jointly with Martin Luther King, and he bailed Martin Luther King out of jail in the 60s. Did you know that?
I didn't know about the bailing him out of jail, but I did know that they had a close collaborative relationship.
That's very impressive.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. Authored
he
more
was very progressive for a Baptist minister.
Yeah. That's very impressive is the good word, because I don't know a lot about him. Obviously, didn't follow him closely, so this is neat knowing that. Authored more than 30 books and received many awards and honors during his life. The highest, including the Congressional Gold Medal, which was the highest honor Congress can bestow on, and an honorary Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire. That's the KBE, for international contributions. So very impressive. There's one in his prime, very earnest. It looks like,
very earnest.
Yeah. Next, we have Daniel Tarbox Jewett, who was born on the 14th September 1807 in Kennebec, Maine District, Massachusetts, Pittston, and passed away the 7th of October 1906 at age 99 in St. Louis, Missouri.
He is my closest actual cousin.
Ah, interesting.
Yes.
So what's his cousinship to you?
7th.
Okay.
7th, 7 times removed.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a lucky number? 7.
That is.
Of the 7th. Yeah.
7. Oh, 7 sons. Yeah, 7th son of the 7th son, sort of thing.
He has a lot of Y-DNA testers on.
Look at that. Profile. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
Now, what does this mean? Patrilineage discontinued. Does that mean that that line dotted out? Maybe
might be. I've never seen that note on there. Let me just somebody check that out.
Okay.
I want to say daughter out.
Yeah. So he graduated.
Saying that.
He graduated from Columbia College in New York in 1830. Admitted to the bar and practiced in Bangor, Maine. He was city solicitor. Worked with his brother operating a steamboat line on the Chagres River in the Isthmus of Panama. Moved to California and engaged in gold mining for 2 years, after which he returned to Bangor and practiced law.
Okay, I know what this is. Sorry.
What is it?
When Ancestry stopped their Y-DNA testing. Isn't that interesting?
Right.
Some have stated that the discontinuation of Y-DNA and mitochondrial DNA services happened with Ancestry cessation of the agreement with Family Tree DNA's laboratory and whatever. So I didn't even realize that Family Tree DNA was involved with that. Anyway, there we go.
Okay.
That's interesting. It's not daughtering out.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. He went and he was appointed to the U.S. Senate. And when a successor was to be elected, he declined to be a candidate and resumed the practice of law. So he was a senator at one point. There we go. Okay. Mara Katrina Mackenzie.
Yeah, what? John Tyner.
John, yeah, forgive me for this one, but I'm trying my best. Mara Katrina Mackenzie.
I think you should pronounce all of those names.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mackenzie, Cruz O'Brien. Mara Katrina, daughter of Sean Mackenzie, Margaret de Bruin, Ben Mackenzie, was born on the 4th of April, 1922. She was named for her grandmothers, Mary Mackenzie and Catherine Brown. So Mara and Katrina were the Irish versions of that. And she spent extended periods in her uncle Padraig de Bruin's house, Tignakila, located in Gathru and Fairtrag near Dunkchuan, Corca Zubin.
You know, you were saying a couple of them really fast, and if you say them really fast, it sounds like you know what you're doing.
Sounds like I know what I'm doing, yeah. I mean, this is a really cool quote here, and I'm going to garble it really bad, but when she spoke in Irish from birth because Gerbith mech motor agus munkel podreg agus me agus nach labrader Liam ag Galen.
And that's Irish. That's not Gaelic. That's Irish.
That's Irish, yes.
There's an Irish language.
There's an Irish language. That is Irish, yes.
Yes.
And I've done a couple lessons of Irish in Duolingo.
Did you really?
I have.
I
don't know if you could tell from what I just read.
I am impressed. Probably impressed.
I haven't some of these words I'm just reading for the first time. Some of them I do remember. August means and.
And Lisa just reminded us that John's been posting stuff late, and he's been apologizing the whole way through in the comment section. I'm late.
So we have to go at least 10 minutes for
we
you
have
to
to
catch
wait
up.
10 minutes. So it's right now, John. For us, it's 11:08. So when we're done the live cast, your answer will come.
Anyways, there we go. Anyway, she attended Alexandria School and Beaufort High School in Dublin, went on to acquire a joint degree in Celtic Studies and Modern Languages, studied for 3 years at the King's Inn, and was the first woman to be called to the bar. First of the women to be called to the bar. Also completed a Master's of Arts in Classical Modern Irish. Following World War II, she studied in the Institut des Hautes Études in Paris. She became the first female administrative officer to be recruited by the Department of External Affairs, becoming the third secretary in 1947, and was later seconded to the Department of Education, where she worked on the Braldus English-Irish Dictionary. Margaret Van Shora, her first collection of poetry was published in 1956. So, very, very impressive Irish woman. Philip Schleswig-Holstein-Sonderburg-Glücksburg Mountbatten, of course, Prince Philip. And it's only fitting that we talk about Prince Philip, who yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of his wife, Queen Elizabeth's passing.
Yes.
Which is very sad. But she did have a long and well-lived life. And certainly Prince Philip was very dear to her. So He grew up. He was actually born. He was Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, because his father was Prince of Andrew, Prince of Greece and Denmark, born on the Greek island of Corfu, and the youngest child of Prince Andrew of Greece and Denmark and Princess Alice of Battenberg, originally part of the Greek Orthodox Church. Now, we've talked about Prince Philip before, and we've gone through his profile a lot, so I don't think I'm going to spend a lot more time on this, because he's a well-known person. But this is a lovely profile they've done here. Nice wedding portrait there, and talks. Anyways, well done. And we've talked about him before, but look at him in there. Nice portraits of him as well. So, moving on to Maria Agatha Francisca Gobertina von Trapp. Not that Maria von Trapp, actually the daughter of Maria, the one you might be more familiar with from The Sound of Music. So this is one of the daughters of the von Trapp family singers. Interestingly, her character was renamed as Louisa in the movie.
So we wouldn't get confused.
So we wouldn't get confused. No, that's right. I guess that makes sense. Yes, a mother and a daughter, both named Maria. But if you look at her siblings, these are not the names from the movie. Werner von Trapp, Heidwig, Rupert. Was there a Rupert? Rupert Georg. Georg was, of course, the father's name. Agatha. This was Maria. Johanna. Martina. There was a Martina for sure. And this is a private sister here.
She's the last one still alive, right?
Well, it said here that she, Maria, died at age 99, and she was the last surviving sibling. So I think this private sister really isn't private. I think this sister has passed.
And somebody, I think it was John Heiner, actually said the other profile, no, it was Victor, said the other profile, the last one we were looking at,
yes,
the parents were private. They should be open as well.
They should be, yeah.
Of the Irish. And John says, I'm not even, no, he's talking about the team name. Never mind. John said, what do you need? Type it in the chat. And I typed in all Greg's pronunciation of Irish.
Irish-ish. Irish-ish. Irish-ish.
That's how I answered him.
Shamroga Agasfonan. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this Maria, this daughter, now one of the other things was there were somewhere here it said that The Sound of Music is largely fictional. The movie that we know is largely fictional.
Very fictional, yes.
Yes. Because the family actually had already left before the war had begun and before the occupation took. So that whole drama didn't happen quite like that. But along with her stepmother, she and her stepmother became Malay missionaries in Papua New Guinea. And then she adopted a son there. That's new. But there's a cool piece of numerology. So she lived to be 99 years old. She had she had her birth mother and then her stepmother when her father remarried. And so 99 plus 2 gives you 101. And guess where her father was born? He was born in the kingdom of Dalmatia, as in 101 Dalmatians. Isn't that cool?
Talk about stretching things. Holy moly.
So there we go. I brought in 101 Dalmatians. I just thought ahead.
Is anyone surprised that all of what Greg is saying is fictional? No. Thanks, Victor.
Thanks, Vic. Yeah. Betty White. And I know we've talked about her before. Lovely actress in person. 22nd cousin, and this is my closest in terms of connections, but it's there's 2 marriages in there. So we're not directly cousins. Born in 1922 in Oak Park County, Cook County, Illinois, passed away on New Year's Eve, 2021 at the age of 99 in LA. Just so close to that 100th birthday. But if she'd made the 100th birthday, she wouldn't be in their profiles this week. So there's the silver lining. American television actress, comedian, pioneer of early television, spanning 7 decades, so many shows, so many things. Mary Tyler Moore's show, The Golden Girls, and Hot in Cleveland are her three best known, possibly, but she's done so well. And I know we've talked about her before, but I'd encourage people to look at her profile, because it's like it's a hit of nostalgia just reading this profile.
I loved watching her, and believe it or not, the original game show that her husband, Alan Ludden, was the host. She was on that game show, and they would flirt horribly during that game show. She would try and mess him up even. But
were they married at that time or no?
Yes.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
So, and still flirting. That's nice.
Oh gosh, yes. It was fun.
Oh, nice. That's neat. Yeah. So what I really like about this profile, I don't know if it was here the last time we looked at her profile, because she's come up before, is they've gone through, what she did. So from her acting career, like, so what she played initially, and it gave specifics for her original shows. And then it went into in the 70s, and then it just sort of because she did so much, what role she played in which movie or TV, and then the same with the 80s. And it really is just like a trip back in time, just saying, oh, I remember that, and that sort of thing. So I recommend highly spending some time with this profile.
I love the one that she did with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock in BC. Was it BC?
Oh, yeah.
Or they were somewhere in Alaska or something, and the dog gets carried off by the eagle, but she was hilarious.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Well,
The Engagement or something. I got to look up.
Neat. John Robert Wooden is the last official one of the week for us. And he is the basketball coach. Born 1910, 14th of October 1910 in Hall, Morgan, Indiana. Passed away the 4th of June 2010 at age 99 in Westwood, Los Angeles. American basketball coach and player, nicknamed the Wizard of Westwood. He won 10 NCAA national championships in a 12-year period. 10 out of 12. That's a pretty good percentage. That's a pretty good winning percentage. Head coach of the UCLA Bruins, including a record 7 in a row. As a basketball player himself, he led his high school team to a second-place finish in the state tournament. Next year they won, and his senior year, all-state player led his team to a second-place finish again. 3-time All-American, lead the Purdue Boilermakers to a national championship win in his senior year in 32. They also finished first in the Big Ten twice. His coaching career started with high school basketball, and then he played semi-pro, and then he started with the Whiting Caesar with the Whiting Caesar in the NBL, and finished with the Hammond Caesar after playing for 2 different teams. Served in the United States Navy during World War II, and his first college coaching break came in Indiana State University in 46, where his teams went 44-15. That's a good stat there. Following year, he landed the coaching gig that made him truly famous, and he was the coach of UCLA. Possibly the greatest college basketball coach in history, certainly one of the best. He was also a top motivational speaker and leadership trainer, and he wrote a book. His book on leadership is still one of the best. And in Wikipedia here, where to go? He quotes some of the things that he's famous for saying. So this was actually advice given to him by his father when he graduated from grammar school. Be true to yourself, make each day your masterpiece, help others, drink deeply from good books, especially the Bible. Make friendship a fine art. That's a neat maxim there. And build a shelter against a rainy day, and pray for guidance and give thanks for your blessings every day.
Nice.
I think that's sort of nice tenets to live by.
You going to end the show on that?
I think I will, except to say that in 99, when we talked all about 99, we didn't actually talk about the most famous 99.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought you were going to say Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, I should have said Wayne. I should have said Wayne Gretzky. Why didn't I say Wayne Gretzky? Oh, I was obsessed. Anyways,
that's hilarious.
I know. But Barbara Feldon is a WikiTree. It does have a WikiTree profile, and according to this, she doesn't have a death date, so she could live to be 99. So
somebody check out Barbara Feldon. She should be on this list. That's for sure. The name of the movie is The Proposal. She came up with that. And we have a question from Beverly Heinrichs.
Okay.
Those profiles are so nice. I want to learn how to create them. Is there a video available for that?
Oh.
And I would go to the how-to on help find how-to WikiTree, and you will find information. But my suggestion is to put a post in G2G and get the community involved, because there's so many different types of ways that you can do it within the styles and the guidelines and stuff. And you got to find your own way. So yeah, cool. And maybe somebody also from our chat might jump in to get you pointed in the right direction for that as well. We have some interesting things coming up in the
did you
week
see this?
ahead. What's that?
John gave me a very good.
Yay!
Woo! Thanks,
You finally saw it. I knew it would be 10 minutes. It's 11:20. Goodness gracious. So we have some things coming up. If you haven't registered for the Sorth-a-thon, please do so. Coming up, we've got a proposal for special family link adopted child navigation boxes. And this is Beverly. We talk about how we do some of our profiles and things that we do. So that's happening in G2G. And what's happening around the house in September. So we've got some stuff coming up. Right now we're doing the Saturday sourcing sprint is going on. The new member question and answer with Betsy Co. You could come to that on at 11 a.m. on the 10th and check that out. She would probably answer that question for you. Nations Tour wrap up, the Data Doctors Challenge, the August We Will Rock You wrap up, the German Stammtisch is coming up on the 14th, and then we'll be back again for our weekend roundup as well. So that's going on. And if you are interested in sharing social media, Azure does a great job of getting this information put out there. So if you're on social media, you have a chat, you have stuff that you do on Facebook, you've got X, you're doing, what it embedded on. Give us some props and send out information about our WikiTree stuff that's going on for our live cast. You can do question of the week, 15 nations. The one name study this week is Bentley. And the one place study this week is Melrose Place, Kendall, Westmoreland. So check those out and see if you can help us out. Upvote this video, whether you're watching it right now live or you're watching us later on in a recorded version. We love hanging out with you guys every Saturday, and we appreciate you being here. Greg, have a great week.
You too.
We will see you
next week.